Erev Tov Rabotai, we're continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Maaser Sheni. We're up to Perek Bet Mishnah Chet. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana Aranbayev and Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelov, Menuchatam Began Eden, Amen. Today's Mishnah is going to discuss whether a person may transfer Maaser Sheni sanctity from copper coins to a silver coin. This Mishnah also appears in Masechet Eduyot, chapter 1, Mishnah 9. In order to understand the next two Mishnayot, it's useful to know certain denominations of money. The smallest coin is the copper peruta. 190 perutot equal 1 dinar. 1 shekel equals 2 dinars. And 1 sela equals 2 shekels or 4 dinars or 768 perutot. Now the Mishnah begins, Haporet sela mimeot maaser sheni. Someone wants to exchange many copper coins of maaser sheni for a silver sela coin. And the Mefarshim explain, as the person accumulated maaser sheni, he transferred its sanctity to smaller copper coins one at a time. But in order to make it easier to bring it to Yerushalayim, he wants to transfer the sanctity from the small coins to one large silver coin. Bet Shammai Amrim, Bet Shammai say, Kol ha-sela maot, he may exchange all the copper coins, the value of an entire sela, for a silver sela. Bet Hillel omrim, but Bet Hillel say, shekel kesef v'shekel maot. He may exchange half of the copper coins, meaning the value of a shekel, because a shekel is worth half of a sela, for a silver shekel. But the other half of the copper coins, which are also worth a shekel, must be kept as copper coins. And the Mefarshim explain, when a person arrives in Yerushalayim with his Maaser Sheni money, he needs copper coins in order to make small purchases, because silver coins had too much value to be used for ordinary day-to-day purchases. If a person comes to Yerushalayim with a silver coin, he's going to need to exchange it for copper coins to buy food. And what would happen is, if everybody brought only silver coins to Yerushalayim, they would have to exchange them there for copper, and then there would be a large demand for copper coins, which would cause the price of copper coins to go up. So to avoid this, Bet Hillel ruled that a person should keep some of his Maaser Sheni in copper, so that there will not be an overwhelming demand for copper in Yerushalayim. And the Mefarshim explain, most people bring the Maaser Sheni money to Yerushalayim at the same time when they would come for the festivals, for the Chagim. So many people trying to exchange silver for copper will cause the price of copper to go up, and a person will receive fewer copper coins for his silver, which will be a loss of Maaser Sheni money. So to avoid this, Bet Hillel want to make sure that the price of copper does not go up. Rabbi Meir says, this is another mechloket about exchanging Maaser Sheni money. En mechalin kesef uperot ala kesef. We may not transfer sanctity from Maaser Sheni money and Maaser Sheni produce together to the same silver coin. For example, if someone has Maaser Sheni coins worth half a dinar and Maaser Sheni produce worth half a dinar, he may not transfer them both together to a single dinar coin, because a transfer of Maaser Sheni is valid only if it's distinct and not mixed together with another transfer. Therefore money and produce may not be transferred together. V'chachamim matirin, however, the sages allow such a transfer, and the Mefarshim explain, the ruling of the Chachamim does not apply in every case. They agree that if a person has enough small coins to transfer to a full coin and enough produce to transfer to a full coin, he must transfer each, the money and the produce, to its own coin. They allow a mixed transfer only when a person does not have enough of produce or enough small coins to fill its own coin. So for example, he has half a dinar's worth of produce and half a dinar's worth of small coins. If he would transfer each to its own dinar, he would be left with 2 dinars that are each only half sanctified with Maaser Sheni. So in this case, the Rav explains that Chachamim allow him to transfer the money and the produce to the same coin. And the Rav tells us, V'alakha ke Chachamim, the halakha follows the opinion of the sages. That is in Rabotai Mishnah Chet. Mishnah Tet now discusses a person who arrives in Yerushalayim with silver coins of Maaser Sheni and wants to exchange them for copper coins in order to buy food. Now, even though we just quoted in Mishnah Chet, the machloket, whether a person may transfer all his copper to silver, all of them agree that he may bring some silver to Yerushalayim. So the Mishnah discusses now how he can transfer that silver. Now, to remember, one sela is equal to 2 shekels or 4 dinars. Haporet sela shel Maaser Sheni b'Yerushalayim. Someone who exchanges a silver sela coin of Maaser Sheni for copper coins in Yerushalayim. Bet Shammai Omrim, Bet Shammai say, Kol ha-sela ma'ot, he may exchange the whole sela for copper coins. Bet Hillel Omrim, but Bet Hillel say, shekel kesef v'shekel ma'ot. He must take change for 1 shekel's worth, which is half the sela, in silver coins, and he must take change for the other shekel's worth, another half sela, in copper coins. And the Mefarshim explain, he may not exchange the entire sela for copper coins, because we're concerned that he will not end up spending all the coins on food, but will save some for the next time he comes to Yerushalayim. And since copper coins corrode over time and lose their value, they may be worth less by the next time he comes to Yerushalayim returns, which will be a loss of Maaser Sheni money. Now the Mefarshim explain, he cannot simply exchange the copper coins back into silver coins, which do not corrode before he leaves Yerushalayim, because then he's going to have to pay an extra fee to the money changer, 1 fee when exchanging the silver for copper, and another fee when exchanging the copper back for silver. That would be an unnecessary waste of Maaser Sheni money, says the Rav. Now the Mefarshim say, other Tanaim agree that a person may not take change for an entire silver coin at once, but they disagree about how much change he may take. Haddanin lifnei chachamim omrim. Those who debate before the chachamim say, and the Mefarshim explain, the students of the chachamim would sit on the floor in front of the teachers, and they would debate what they had been taught. Our Mishnah is referring to a specific group of four scholars: Shimon ben Azai, Shimon ben Zoma, Hanan HaMitzri, and Hanania ben Chachinai, who died young, and they remained students their whole lives. Now, therefore, although they were great scholars whose opinions are included in the Mishnah, they are still referred to as those who debate before the sages as students, because like in a lot of times in Pirkei Avot, you have Ben Zoma or Ben Azai Omer without saying their name, Shimon, because the Mefarshim say that they died young without receiving smicha. So the Mishnah says, Hadanin lefnei chachamim omrim, those who debate before the chachamim say, Bishlosha dinre chesef. He may take exchange for 3 dinars worth in silver coins, which is 3/4 of the sela, v'dinar ma'ot, and he may take change for 1 dinar's worth in copper coins, which is 1/4 of the sela. So 3/4 of a sela in silver coins and 1/4 of the sela in copper coins. Rabbi Akiva says, Shelosha dinarin kesef urvi'it ma'ot. He must take change for 3 dinars worth in silver coins, and out of the 4th dinar's worth of sela, he may take change for 1/4 of it in copper coins. But he must take change for the rest of it in silver coins. So in other words, he may exchange only 1/4 of a dinar for copper coins, which is really 1/16 of the sela, as opposed to what we said earlier in the previous opinion, 1/4 of the sela in copper coins. Rabbi Tarfon says he must take change for 3 dinars worth of the sela in silver coins, and out of the 4th dinar, arba aspere chesef, he may take 4 aspers worth in silver coins, which is 4/5 of a dinar. And the Mefarshim explain, an asper is a Greek coin that is worth 1/4 of a dinar. So since a sela is worth 4 dinars, 20 aspers equal 1 sela, and therefore he may exchange only 1. Again, arba aspere chesef, he must take 4 aspers worth in silver coins, 4/5 of a dinar, and he may exchange only 1 aspers worth 1/20th of the original sela for copper coins. Shammai says he may not exchange silver for copper coins at all. Rather, he deposits the silver sela in a store with the storekeeper, and over time he takes and eats food from the store equal to the value of the sela. And the Mefarshim explain, Shammai is concerned that if someone exchanges Maaser Sheni money for copper coins, he will carry in his pocket, he might forget that the copper coins have sanctity, and he will use them for other purposes. Therefore, he may not exchange the sela for copper coins at all. Instead, he has to deposit the sela with the storekeeper who sells food, and he will use it as credit. Over time, he'll take a sela's worth of food and eat it according to the laws of Maaser Sheni. So in summary, the Mishnah brings down 6 opinions about how much of a sela a person may exchange for copper coins, which is really how we started the Mishnah. The first opinion was Bet Shammai. He may exchange the entire sela for copper coins. The second opinion was Bet Hillel. He may exchange half of the sela for copper coins. The third opinion was those that debate before the Chachamim. They said he may exchange a fourth of the sela for copper coins. The fourth opinion was Rabbi Akiva. He may exchange 1/16 of the sela for copper coins. The fifth opinion was Rabbi Talfon. He may exchange 1/20 of the sela for copper coins. And Shammai was the final opinion. He may not exchange any of the sela for copper coins at all. And the Rav tells us, "Ven halacha ele kidivrei Bet Hillel bilvad." The halacha only follows the opinion of Bet Hillel, that he may exchange half of the sela for copper coins and half of the sela in silver coins. And that is in Rabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.